all coming together with this commonality of food and using the power of bringing people around the table to eat a meal as a means to create a new future.
I think that locally grown organic food is the future.
Organic farming relies on nature rather than tries to destroy nature to create the food that we love.
Food, really, that's the root of everything.
So the Good Food Movement is a community of passionate farmers, advocates, chefs, teachers that are all about changing our food system. And changing our food system to be one that's focused on profits, yes, but also people and the planet, and grounded in healthy soil as the foundation in building health and healthy farms.
It's difficult to farm organically in the Southeast because of the heat, the bugs, the lack of organic matter in the soil. It's very difficult, but it can be done, and it's worth the effort. Well, my mother was the mentor in the beginning. She had always been an activist before her time against agricultural chemicals. And so she always told us, never purchase any produce that doesn't have a bug hole in it, because it's probably poison. And then later in life, I developed a chemical sensitivity. So I went to totally organic food, organic lifestyle, and I just changed my whole world. Organic farming has made me happier. It really has, in so many ways. And I thought, if I can do this, others can do this. So that sort of became a mission for me, that we would change the face of farming. I think we've made a difference in a lot of lives, maybe. I hope we have, because that's really what we set out to do.
Well, most people participate in the Good Food Movement because they want to eat healthy food. The deeper opportunities are to build healthy soils and support our natural resources and create a regenerative type of agriculture that really gives back to our soils and honoring biodiversity.
My grandmother started me gardening when I was 8 years old. And then when I was a teenager, I was doing it conventionally, and I had some pesticide blow back in my face, and I started coughing and go, this can't be good. And started reading up on what these pesticides were doing to our environment, and I made the switch. We grow organically because we love both the food we eat and being good protectors of the earth. When you look at what affects our environment, there are two things that affect it more than anything else: how we use and produce energy, and how we use and grow food. And it is that growing of food that covers most of this world as far as human impact.
Well, they actually do a pretty good job of helping to control a variety of insects like grasshoppers and things like that, who can be a problem.
You're also looking at it within your ecosystem. How are the things that around you going to affect what you're growing?
Girls.
We have a lot of wildlife at our farms, whether it's the native bees, whether it's the foxes in the woods, the rabbits that come up, and we really try to promote that. We have been very slow to adopt organic in this country, I believe, because of the institutional support for commercial farming. And one of the things that's different about organic farming is you don't need as much inputs as you do with conventional farming. So there's fewer ways for all these big multinationals to make money off of organic farming. If we don't change how we grow food, we cannot create a sustainable society. Organic isn't the total solution, but it's a huge step. The majority of food being consumed in this country is going to be organic or a similar sustainable certification within 20 years, because consumers are demanding it. The question for American agriculture is whether American farmers are providing that or whether we're importing it from other countries.
What inspires me about the Good Food Movement is when I see young kids excited about radishes because they've learned about it in their garden or they've had some sort of experience cooking. And when I think about them being our future leaders, our future consumers, it excites me that they're having this experience that many people in my generation didn't have.
I have been working in the garden with my students for 4 years now. When it first began, it was just me and my class, and now we have teachers in all the grade levels in the whole school that are participating, and every kid gets to go out and work in the garden. The garden is helpful as an outdoor classroom because it gets us outside. It makes my lessons a lot more exciting. The kids are able to explore, dig in the dirt, and do things that we can't do in the walls of this building.
Instead of calling them bottoms, though, what are these actually called?
Yes.
Roots. Yeah, root vegetables.
I think my favorite part about working in the garden is seeing their excitement when they actually have something that they can pull off a plant or out of the ground and eat it. Ever since we started growing our own food in the garden, I've noticed that the kids have made healthier choices in the cafeteria, at home. They've encouraged their parents to buy healthier things from the grocery store. It's opened their eyes to where food comes from and how it's actually grown, that some farmer somewhere had to plant a seed and water it and take care of it before they could actually eat it. The reason why I do this is because I care about my students and I want them to have a healthy life.
So I think the Good Food Movement really started with farmers that were growing sustainably and the chef community who was helping introduce people to taste.
When we moved here in '92, the soil was not very pretty. It was a soybean field, and my husband Clifford has worked really hard for the past 26 years to make it look beautiful here.
When we moved here, our goal was to grow local produce on our farm and to utilize everything local that we could. You get to be a great chef by serving great products. There's really no way around that. You can be as creative or technically inclined, but you have to start with something really fantastic to make something good. Buying local is important for a lot of reasons. Mostly, I would say, because of the freshness and the quality of the ingredients, the flavor of the ingredients, which is something that we're always looking for. And also, we try wherever we can to keep the money that we spend in the local environment.
We're all helping fix a broken food system. You go to the grocery store and everything is in a box already ready to open and eat. By doing this, we're helping fix that broken food system. We're preparing food from scratch. We're taking vegetables from the field and breaking them down into dishes. We're taking whole animals and breaking them down into sausage. We put a lot of thought into what our sourcing is, and what we're putting in front of you. We purchased a 65-acre farm in Loganville. Not only just do what we say what we're doing, but just to kind of be a part of it. I like to take my staff out to the farm, call it a work day. Go out there and weed a couple rows, a field, and work for a good 3-4 hours. And at the end of that, pull out the green egg and cook lunch for everybody. Just kind of have that sense of, where your food comes from. So that way, when it's coming in through the back door, they have a little bit of different perspective for that food.
The Good Food movement began with the National Organic Program that created a standard for certified organic farms in this country. I think that helped suddenly put a choice on the table where people started asking some hard questions about how food is grown.
I'm the 5th generation of the farm, and we've been on the same piece of land since 1866, 150 years this year. We weren't really thinking about the community when we were building our business, White Oak Pastures. We were really passionate about growing cattle and marketing grass-fed beef and getting consumers who wanted something different. But by putting that labor back in agriculture, we were able to create a really great community.
Our employee culture is, I'd say there's nothing like it that I've ever come across. We work from about sunup to sundown, 8 days a week together. We eat together. Everybody knows everybody by their first and last name. I'd say we're just a big family.
Today, White Oak Pastures has about 130 full-time employees that span from live animal production managers to skilled butchers to artisan leather craftsmen to chefs to even people like me who work in the office. My grandfather was sort of famous in saying, you take care of the land and the herd and they'll take care of you. And for a long time, we never really thought we weren't taking care of the land and the herd. We poured, hundreds of gallons of chemical fertilizer to the land, and we thought in terms of maximum production in grass, that was exactly what you're supposed to be doing. After taking a step back and looking at what we were doing, we realized that we weren't really taking care of the land or the animals, we were taking care of ourselves. So when we transitioned our farm to certainly the focus that it is today, which is on high animal welfare and in high environmental sustainability, we realized that we enjoyed watching things a lot more. Today, it's so pleasant just to ride from one end of our farm to the other, watching cattle do exactly what they're intended to do, graze and roam. It's watching pigs root and wallow, watching chickens scratch and peck. I guess it'd be really hard to measure the benefit of going organic because it's not financial, it's not emotional, it's not all environmental, it's not all animal welfare. It's such a collaboration of all those things. It's how they tie in together holistically that make it truly special.
The Good Food movement only moves if we have amazing leaders at the local level. And I think Kim Hines is a perfect example of somebody who has helped aggregate farm goods on behalf of a lot of farmers to bring that quality food to the consumer.
I want to live in a place where the food is connected to what's going on in the earth, is connected to what's going on in our wallet. I want to live in a place like that. Augusta Locally Grown is hundreds and hundreds of people. People who come, some of them just one time, to give their special gift to a volunteer day. And some have given nearly a decade of time to this effort. Do you want parsley?
No, I have parsley.
You got parsley. And we also have cabbage. All along, I saw it not as a small business and not as a for-profit whatsoever, but I saw it as a tool for social change in this community.
It's a thicker thread. It has 4 repeats, and this one has 5. Are you okay with that?
Oh yeah.
Okay. And we shear the animals, we wash the wool, we dye the wool, we spin the wool, we have knitting classes, crochet classes, weaving classes, all that kind of stuff that you can make from nothing, from your own farm.
I think that as a mom and as a community member and as a professional, I understand food, good, healthy food, as a connecting force. It's about being involved in activities that maybe already exist in the community and bringing that local food element to them, but also creating some new ones, some really unusual ones that didn't exist before. So starting garden projects, starting teaching gardens, starting cooking classes, starting a farmer's market, but always coming together with anyone willing to step forward to grow the food, to clear the land, to raise the beds, to run the farmer's market, to do what we do together.
These are tomatoes that need to be transplanted. My journey started when I was given a mission to learn everything about food from the seed to the table. This is our 11th season at Truly Living Well. We grow food, we grow people, and we grow community. All the work that's done on this site was done by people who live within 2 or 3 blocks. This was an old housing project that was torn down before the Olympics, and we've been able to transform it. We did 7 summer camps. We have after-school programs, 6 locations. We started 4 food co-ops, as well as 12-week training camps that we bring people in and teach them how to grow food. I've been involved in agriculture all these years, and it's my life. I can't imagine doing anything else. In a lot of ways, the farm itself is inspiring. To see people eating better and improving their lives because of the work, the transformation that takes place at Truly Living Well.
The beautiful thing about food is that it can impact so many areas, from rural development, community development, farms, the environment, equity issues. So it's a very, very powerful tool, and we're really just at the beginning.
We need to know who grows our food, the quality of our food, and where our food comes from.
Organic farming enables us to provide food that is free of pesticides, and it also connects people with the idea of their food.
I want Georgia to become not the bottom on the list of organic acreage, but the top.
Food is the answer.
Food is the answer.
Food is the answer.
Food is the answer.
Food is the answer.